Welcome everybody. Here we are with the continuation of the 1973 World Series between the Oakland A's and the New York Mets. And this is game two. The A's won the first game by a score of 2-1 on a Ray Fosse single, driving in the go-ahead run. Today's pitching matchup is Jerry Koosman versus Vida Blue. Koosman was 14 and 50, and I had to double check that, with a 2.84 ERA and 35 starts. And Vida Blue was 20 and 8 or 9, looks like 9, with a 3.28 ERA. So we're going to get started right away. And for the Mets, we're going to have in the first inning third baseman Wayne Garrett, Felix Mian, and then Rusty Staub, who pinch hit in yesterday's game, but he's been slowed by a right shoulder problem that's been acting up, and he took the day off yesterday, but he's out in right field today. We'll see how long he lasts out there. And let's get started. Oh, I'm sorry. There you go. It's a 1-4. It's going to be off Garrett's card. A 4 is a ground ball to second base. That's Dick Green. Dick Green flips over to Tennis at first, and that's one away. Felix Mian, and that's off of Blues card, so it's going to be 6-8, and that's going to be a split double 1-4 out otherwise, and it's a 5. So that's a fly ball to center field, 2 away. And Rusty Staub. 4-10, ground ball third base X. 14, Sal Bando, pretty good fielder. He's a 2. A 14 is going to be a ground ball that he's going to handle. He's going to throw it over to first, and that's 3 away. So 3 up, 3 down, bottom of the first. Oakland A's. Bert Campaneris going to lead off, followed by Joe Rudy and Sal Bando. Jerry Koosman's pitching for the Mets. That's going to be off Koosman's card, a 6-9. He's hampered by injuries for a few seasons and just has some poor seasons, and really everything's downhill from 1974 on. This is off Rudy's card, a 1-6. It's a ground ball to the third baseman Garrett. Garrett over to Milner at first, and that's 2 away. Sal Bando, he goes on to sign a free agent contract with the Milwaukee Brewers and plays third base for them. So 4-4, and that's off Koosman's card as a ground ball to second base. Mian over to Milner. That's 3 away. So we have Cleon Jones, John Milner, and Jerry Grody. That's going to be off Blues card, a 5-4, and that's a ground ball shortstop. Campy's a 2, and that's a 12. It's going to be a play by Campy over to first. That's 1 away. John Milner hit 23 home runs, batted .239. He led the Mets in homers. And that's a 4-6 off Blues card. A 6 is a strikeout. So he gets Milner to go down swinging. That's the first K for Blue. Blue struck out 158 in 264 innings. Jerry Grody, the catcher. It's a 4-5. A 4-5 is a strikeout. So he strikes out Grody That's 3 up, 3 down. He's retired 6 in a row. We go to the bottom of the second. A's are going to have Reggie Jackson, their big slugger, who actually was sat out the previous year's World Series, the '72 World Series, in a cast. But he's playing in this series. He's playing center field. It's going to be off Jackson's card. A 3-6 is a strikeout. So that's a big swing by Jackson going for the fences, but makes no contact. Gene Tennis. 6-11 is going to be a fly ball to right field. Rusty Staub's a 3, which is surprising to me. And it's 11. That's going to be a double. Staub just doesn't have the wheels to get to that one. And he's going to corral it and keep Tennis from going for a triple. So Tennis is on base for a double, with a double. And Jesus Alou. It's off Koosman's card, a 6-7, which is a fly ball to right field. Staub gets into that one. And 2 out, Ray Fosse. Fosse drove in the winning run in yesterday's game with a single. And that's off Fosse's card, a 1-5. That's going to be a fly out to the center fielder, Hahn. Hahn is playing Don Hahn. And that's going to be 1 left on base on that double, but the A's do not score. And we're going to have Hahn coming up to bat. Hahn, Harrelson, and Koosman in the top of the 3rd inning. And it's going to be a 3-7, 3-8 off of Hahn's card. It's going to be a walk for Hahn. So the leadoff batter is on base. Harrelson, a 4-11 off Vita Blue. Say left field X. And that's a 6. Left fielder is Joe Rudy. Should be an out, and it is. So it's a fly ball to Rudy. And Koosman, both pitchers are batting 1, so I have that card out here on the side. So Koosman's going to bat. That's going to be off Koosman's card, 3-5. It's a ground ball to shortstop. He looks the runner, and actually it's a double play ball. Yeah, it's a 6-4-3 double play ball, and that's the end of the inning. The Mets leave 1 on the walk to Hahn, and we go to the bottom of the 3rd. All right, Dick Green, Vita Blue, and Bert Campaneris. It's going to be off Green's card. A 1-10 is a ground ball to the 3rd baseman, Garrett. Garrett over to first to Milner. That's 1 away. Vita Blue, a 5-6 off Koosman card is a split roll. A 1 and 2 is a triple, and a 3-20 is a single. So let's see what happens. And that's a 1. So that's going to be a triple, an unlikely triple for Vita Blue. That should be an unusual play chart. And Bert Campaneris with a runner on 3rd. Mets have the infield back. It's going to be a 4-8 off Koosman's card, and 8 is a walk. So that's 1st and 3rd for Joe Rudy. 1st and 3rd for Joe Rudy. And Campy is a 1-15, but Koosman is a 1 defensive catcher. So we're going to be conservative with Campy. Joe Rudy, it's a 6-11 off Koosman's card, and 11's a fly ball to right field X. And Staub is a 3 out there, and that must be a misprint. 314 is the roll, it's a 4, so that 4 is a runner's hold. So not deep enough to get anybody in. So that's good news for the Mets. Fly ball to shallow right field, and Vita Blue is going to hold on that. And we have Sal Bando, first and third, Sal Bando. 2 outs, and that's a 6-5 off Koosman's card, and that's a strikeout. He gets Bando to go down swinging with a runner at third. So that's a good job by Koosman. So the A's leave, that's no runs, and they leave 2 men on base. And wasted is a triple by Vita Blue. Probably one of the most unusual plays in the World Series at this point. And now we go to the Mets, and it's Wayne Garrett. And it's going to be a 6-5 off Blues card, and that 5 is a ground ball shortstop. So that's going to be a 6. Campaneris is a 2. So we look at that chart, and it's a ground ball. And he handles that easily. Throws over to first, and Tennis grabs it for the out. Felix Mian. It's a 1-2 on Mian's card. A 1-2. It's a line out to Dick Green and Rusty Staub. 2 away here in the top of the 4th inning. Still no score. This is the replay between the A's and the Mets, World Series 1973. And that's off of Blues card, a 4-6, and Staub goes down swinging. So no runs, no hits for the Mets. Going to the bottom of the 4th. The A's have Jackson, Tennis, and Alou. That's a 5-11 off of Koosman, right fielder X. So Rusty Staub's getting a lot of action out there. It's a 17 under a 3, and that's going to be an out. So Rusty gets into that one. Let one drop earlier for a double. Just couldn't make it there. Gene Tennis. And that's off Tennis's card, a 3-4, and that's going to be a ground out to Harrelson. The short-handed Harrelson throws over to Milner. That's 2 away. And you have Jesus Alou, 2 away here in the bottom of the 4th. And that's going to be off Alou's card, a 2-10. It's a ground ball now to Garrett. Garrett rifles it to Milner at first, and that's 3 away. So 3 up, 3 down. And we go to the top of the 5th. Still no score. We're going to see Cleon Jones, John Milner, and Jerry Grody. That's going to be a 6-7, which is a fly ball to right field. And right field is Alou, John Milner. It's a 1-7 off Milner's card. It's a ground ball to Tennis. Tennis is going to flip it over to the first, for the pitcher covering. It's going to be a 1-3. Don't see those too often here in Strat, but I have a tendency to throw them in every so often. Grody. Anytime a first baseman is a 4, you can throw one of those in, or a couple of those, where he just doesn't get to the bag and needs the pitcher to cover for him. Just doesn't have the range. 2 outs in Jerry Grody. A 1-5. And that's going to be a grounder to Campaneris over to Tennis. And that's 3 up, 3 down. So Blue, since the walk to Hahn in the third inning, has retired 8 in a row. And we go to the bottom of the fifth. Ray Fosse, Dick Green, and Vita Blue. And it's going to be off Koosman's card, a 5. A 5-8 is a fly ball to left field. Dick Green. Dick Green batted .262 with 3 home runs and 42 RBIs in 332 at-bats for the Oakland A's in 1973. That's going to be 6-9 off Koosman's card. A 6 column 9 is a strikeout, and that's Koosman's 4th strikeout. It's really a pitcher's duel going on here today. And then we have Vita Blue. That's going to be off Blue's card. A 1-5 is going to be a strikeout, and that's the 5th strikeout for Koosman. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the top of the 6th. No score in the 1973 World Series replay. Stratomatic replay. And that's going to be Hahn is up. He walked last time. Don Hahn. That's my favorite Chinese food restaurant in Queens, New York. Don Hahn's. And 2-4. It'll be a line out to shortstop, Campaneris. Okay, we're going to have Buddy Harrelson. Light hitting Buddy, but he's a tremendous fielding shortstop. And it's got a lot of spunk. I call him the spunky one. And that's going to be a 4-4 fly ball center field X. And that's a 17. Jackson's a 3 out there, and that's generous. 3-17. That's going to be a ball that Jackson gets to. And we got Koosman up, Jerry Koosman. He's a pitcher card 1. That's going to be off the Blues card, a 4-4-6. Our 4-12 is a ground ball to Green. Green over to Tennis, and that's 3 up, 3 down. Got a heck of a game going here. And Vita Blue is dominating, that's for sure. We're going to have Bert Campaneris, Joe Rudy, and Sal Bando in the bottom of the 6th inning. No score here. The 73 World Series replay. And it's going to be a 4 off Koosman's card, a 4-9, and that's going to be a single. A single for Campy. Campy stealing is an A, and that's a 1. Second base is going to be a 1-15, but Grody is a 1 catcher. I believe that's a -4, so that would make it 1-11. It's 50%. So we're going to hold off on that. And that's going to be a 1-4. It's going to be off Rudy's card. And a 4 is going to be a pop-up to Harrelson. Harrelson is going to call it, and that's 1 away. Sal Bando. It's a 5-11 off Koosman's card, and 11 is a ground ball to the first baseman, X. Milner doesn't have much range out there, and he just doesn't get to that ball, and that's going to go into right field for a single. And Campy's going to advance 1 base. So a single for Bando, and the A's have something brewing here, and the crowd starts getting excited. And Reggie Jackson is up. First and second with Reggie Jackson. It's going to be a 5-11 off of Koosman's card. It's a ground ball again to Milner, X. See what happens here. It's a 2. And that takes a bad hop, and that goes out to right field for the 3rd hit of the inning. So Milner didn't know what to do with that hop at all. But that's going to go for a single. Official scorer does not give Milner an error on that. and that's debatable for sure. So now the bases are loaded in the bottom of the sixth inning with Gene Tennis, the batter. The crowd is anticipating something exciting happening here for the A's. Gene Tennis. The infield is back, going for the double play for the Mets. It's a Koosman card, 5-4. A 4 is a catcher's card X. Oh my goodness. And Grody's a 1. Grody is a 1, and that's going to be a foul out. Grody gets back to the screen and makes the catch for the second out. So we have Jesus Alou with the bases loaded in the bottom of the sixth. Huge opportunity here for the A's. And it's going to be a 1-3 off Alou's card. Don't know what that is. It's a ground ball. It's a rocket right at Harrelson. Harrelson picks it up, flips over to Mian, and for the force, that's the third out. And the Mets get out of trouble. The A's leave 3 men on base on 3 hits, and we go to the top of the seventh inning, and the score is still 0-0. That really quieted the crowd down here at Oakland. All right, we're gonna have Wayne Garrett for the Mets. Wayne Garrett, Felix Mian, top of the order, and Rusty Staub. It's going to be off Garrett's card, a 3-12. That's going to be a ground ball to Tennis. Going to handle that easily. Felix Mian. It's off Blues card, a 4-7, and that's going to be a walk to Mian. So Mian gets on base. So finally, after since the third inning, the Mets haven't had anybody on base at all. And Felix Mian, that runs pretty well, even though he's not really a base stealer. He's going to be at first base, and Rusty Staub, probably the best hitter on the Mets in terms of just raw ability. And here goes. White or blue against Rusty Staub. It's off of Staub's card. It's the 1 column, a 10. It's a line out to the second baseman. He looks at first, but Mian gets back. So that's 2 away. Runner on first, and Cleon Jones. Cleon Jones batted .260, hitting 11 home runs in 339 at bats. Probably the best athlete on the Mets. Just doesn't have the stats to really showcase his ability. So Cleon Jones. It's a 4 off Blues card, a 4-8, and that's going to be a walk. So Blue is losing it a bit here. And that's going to be a call to the bullpen. And Darryl Knowles, who actually historically pitches in all 7 games, I'm trying to accomplish that feat here. He's going to come in for Blue. Darryl Knowles, and he's going to be, I'm going to color him in as a blue in the top of the 7th inning. I color in all my relievers. I use these pencils, these colored pencils, and it's easy to kind of pick up where the relievers came in and where there was a change in relievers, and I don't have to fill the boxes up with a lot of little symbols and so forth. So it simplifies everything for me. So John Milner's up for the Mets. Runners on first and second. Milner is dangerous. He led the Mets in home runs. Yeah, 23 home runs in 1973, was a dangerous home run hitter. So he would probably be at the bottom of the list on a team. I mean, I think that's the minimum that players hit nowadays. If you don't hit 20 home runs, they kind of have to send you to the optometrist, find out what's wrong with you. Okay, here goes Milner against Darryl Knowles. And that's a 110 off Milner's card. Let's see what that turns out to be. And that's a strikeout. Knowles comes in with confidence and just blows it by Milner. And that's Mets leave 2 in the top of the 7th inning. We go to the bottom of the 7th. And still the score is 0-0. So in the bottom of the seventh, we're going to have Ray Fosse, green, and a pinch hitter for the nose spot. A pinch hitter for the nose spot. Actually, you know what? I misread what had happened on the field, and it looks like they pulled a double switch, and they put. Let me see who that is. Can't really see the number. They put Davalillo in right field. Vic Davalillo, he's going to bat in what was Vita Blue spot. So there was a double switch. Was not aware of that. Okay, so that's what's going to happen there. So we're going to have Ray Fosse, Dick Green, and Vic Davalillo. Okay, so let's get started here on that. All right, so the crowd is anxious, waiting for their A's to get something going against the Mets. And Ray Fosse. It's off Koosman's card, a 4-2, which is a fly ball to center field. Don Hahn, in center field. And then you got Dick Green. That's a 1-4 off Green's card, and that's a ground ball to Garrett. Garrett over to Milner, and that's 2 away. And now we have Vic Davalillo. Vic batted 188 with 0 home runs and 64 at bats. So he's somewhat of a lightweight. And it's a 6-8. A 6-8 is a pop-up, and Milner's going to call for that one. And Mian and the catcher all converge. And and it looks like Milner made the catch. Yeah, they got all tangled there to try to get that ball, and on the first base side, and it looks like Milner came up with it. So that's and nobody got hurt on that play. All right, so let's go to the top of the 8th inning. Jerry Grody against Darryl Knowles. That's a 1-9 off Grody's card. A 1-9er is a ground ball to Campaneris. He rifles it to first. That's 1 away. Don Hahn. That's the Mets center fielder. And it's a 4. That's off Knowles' card. A 4-4. It's going to be a fly ball to Jackson in center field. And then Buddy Howson. It's a 3-9. A 3-9 is a fly ball to right field to Davalillo. And that's going to be 3 up, 3 down in the top of the 8th. We go to the 8th inning. The score is 0-0 here in Game 2 of the 1973 World Series replay between the Mets and the Oakland A's. So we have a heck of a pitcher's duel going on. And this is the bottom of the 8th inning, where Campy, Rudy, and Bando are all going to face Jerry Koosman. It's going to be a 3-5. It's going to be a fly ball to center field. And Hahn under that. 1 away. Joe Rudy, off-road Joe Rudy's card, and 11 is a split line-out single. 1 to 4 is a single, and that's an 18. It's a line-out to the shortstop. So Buddy Harrelson comes up with a nice pick at short. He's showing off his slick glove, that's for sure. Actually, there's a ground ball, alternative universe play there. I looked at the wrong card, and that was it's an 11. So it was a ground ball to second base, Mian. And let's go to Bando. 110 is a pop-up, this time to Harrelson. He calls it, and that's 3 up, 3 down. And Koosman's retired 8 in a row. So Reggie Jackson now. Koosman is going to lead off the inning, and we're actually going to let him bat. Don't want to mess a good thing up. And that's a 3-9. His pitcher's hitting card 1, and that's a 3-9. So he's a lightweight for sure, and that's a strikeout. Knowles is still pitching. You know that Tug McGraw, relief pitcher for the Mets, actually went 6 innings in one of the World Series games in '73. He eventually told his coach, his manager, Yogi Berra, that he probably was out of gas at that point. And Grody commented that, hey, you're only in your 7th inning. During this time, relief pitchers had a tendency to stay in the game a very, very long time. Okay, so 1 away, top of the 9th inning. Wayne Garrett, the third baseman for the Mets, is up. And that's a 2 off Garrett's card, a 2-5. It's going to be a split single line out. It's a single 1 to 19. Yeah, so that's going to be a single. And that's going to be the first hit for the Mets in the top of the 9th inning by Wayne Garrett. Felix Mian is up. Wayne Garrett is at first. And that's going to be off Darryl Knowles' card. And let's see what that is. That's a 4-8. A 4-8 is a split triple 1 to 6, single the rest of the way, and that's going to be a triple. And Mian strokes one in the gap that gets all the way to the wall, and he motors around the bases, driving in Garrett, and that's the first run of the game in the top of the 9th. So the Mets score the first run of the game in the top of the 9th, and the A's are going to the bullpen. They're going to bring in Raleigh Fingers. Fingers is going to be a red. Fingers had 22 saves in 1973. And he's going to come in there with 1 out, runner on third. The infield, the A's are going to play the infield in. And Rusty Staub is the batter. And that's going to be a 4-8. So that's off Raleigh Fingers. And 8 is going to be a single 1 to 3 single. And that's a 20, so that's going to be a line out to first base. So that's 2 away. And Jones, infield is back now. Cleon Jones against Raleigh Fingers off Jones's card, a 3-4. A 3-4 is a pop-up to Campaneris. He calls it, and that's it. So the Mets score 1 run on the Mian triple to take the 1-0 lead. 1 run on 2 hits in the top of the 9th. and the Mets lead it 1-0. So we still have Koosman going for the complete game in the ninth inning, and Koosman is going to face some Oakland power in Jackson and Tennis. Tennis stroked 24 home runs and 510 at bats, and then it's going to be the pitcher slot. So we're going to probably see a pinch hitter there, and that's going to be a 4-10 off Koosman. A 4-10 is a fly ball center field, and under it is Hahn, and that's one away. Now there's going to be a change in right field. Change in right field. Yeah, no, you know what? No change in right field. Gene Tennis is up. Jerry Koosman going for a complete game here. Shutout. Given up 5 hits in the game so far. And that's a 2-8. A 2-8 off Tennis's card, and that's going to be a fly ball to left field. And the left fielder, Jones, calling it. And that's going to be 2 away. And let's get a pinch hitter for Oakland. And that's going to be Mike Andrews. Mike Andrews is going to come in to hit for the pitcher. Mike Andrews. Let's see, Andrews. 4 fingers. Bottom 9. So Mike Andrews is going to face is going to face Jerry Koosman for the last out of the game. Let's see what happens. That's going to be a 5 off Koosman's card, a 5-8. There's going to be a fly ball to left field. Cleon Jones makes the catch. Game over. The Mets tie the series at 1 apiece. Jerry Koosman gets the complete game shutout, 5-hitter. He struck out 5, walked only 1. He goes the distance, and the Mets have now tied the series, and we're going to play Game 3. And thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed it. Take care now.